All right, good morning, everyone. Good morning. We're just going to be doing our pre-market analysis right now before the market opens up in 8 minutes. We're just going to be marking out highs and lows, session high and lows. We got a new month, so you should be starting from the month and working your way down if you're doing this analysis also. All right, let me just do this analysis and then we will get to chatting. Week high. So we have this impulse range on the weekly time frame for Bitcoin. We have this weekly fair value gap and a day fair value gap overlapping in it. Weekly low. Weekly high got taken out here. Weekly high got taken out here. So we only have weekly lows now. And we have this impulse range. Good morning, everyone. We're just doing some pre-market analysis right now. All right, we got this day high that hasn't been hit. And all these day lows got... Wait, no, they did not. Day low. Here, almost hit. Day low. What is this? Yeah, we'll keep that there. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. We're just marking out levels. All these levels are marked. This day high got taken out and day low. So NASDAQ right now on a daily time frame looks bearish, right? We're delivering from a sell side to go short. Yeah, a lot of red folder news this week. We are in a daily fair value gap right now, so I'm interested to see what happens here. Bitcoin also looks bearish, so I've created this new pre-market breakdown for myself, where I look at, okay, BTC has a good day impulse range, right? Very clear impulse range here on the day time frame. Let me mark it out here. We haven't delivered to 50% of this day range yet, but price has a very clear impulse range on the day time frame for Bitcoin, and that is looking very bearish. Okay. NASDAQ also delivering from, has an impulse range here, day impulse range, looks bearish, right? We are in this day fair value gap and coming bearish, looking bearish into NASDAQ. So let's mark that out for our analysis. Now gold is doing the opposite. Gold is looking bullish. Gold has this impulse range here. Could even go down to here, to here. It's delivered a discount, come out of that fair value gap and pushing up higher, attacking external range liquidity. Gold is looking bullish. And now we kind of have this fresh impulse range here on gold. So gold I'm going to mark out as bullish. And now we're going to go down to, what is this? Which assets have a day? Yeah, all of them have clear impulses. Okay, let's go down to the 4 hour. Sorry if I'm missing any chats or anything. I got to lock in and get this finished. We got 4 minutes. So 4 hour time frame on NASDAQ. Again, NASDAQ has this day impulse range, but NASDAQ has this 4 hour impulse range too. So, and this 4 hour looks like that. And again, It looks like price could come down into this discount. We don't really have any footprints though, minus this 4-hour order block. Or this big 4-hour inversion. There's no fair value gaps. We have this H4 fair value gap here, but that's it. On NASDAQ. Gold. Gold has this impulse range here. From this low. Actually, we'll go up a little higher on that. We'll go up to this low. Right? This low to there has this impulse. And I've already marked out some of the key levels. I did that yesterday. And so we already have some fair value gaps. Okay, so H4 has an impulse range for all 4 of these, and so does it have for Bitcoin. Bitcoin's is bearish. So we're going to say H4 has one for all these. And it's looking bearish for all, minus gold. Gold still looks bullish. Yeah, gold still looks bullish. NASDAQ, yep, looks bearish here. The way that it's coming down here off this impulse range. And then Bitcoin, just look at that. That looks just insanely bearish. We do have some of these levels we can mark out real quick. H4. Fair value gaps. We're going to tighten this one up. But, okay. And no fair value gaps here. We got this fair value gap already marked out. And these are the more important ones in my opinion because they're in discount. Okay. Let's go to 1 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame clearly has an impulse range also on Bitcoin. Let's tighten up these fair value gaps here. Oh, okay, we've tightened up those fair value gaps. NASDAQ does have this impulse range that is bearish. Why? Because it broke below this low. So we do have this 1 hour bearish impulse. With, look at that, a bearish H1 fair value gap right in discount or premium. So that could be something we target to wait for to be hit this morning. So let me 1 hour has one, 1 hour has one. This one looks, Bitcoin's was bearish and so was NASDAQ. So Bitcoin and NASDAQ are clearly bearish bias. So I'd prefer to be looking for shorts today. While gold, I mean, even on the 1 hour, still looks very bullish. Yeah, gold is looking very bullish. Any footprints here? Oh, we got this guy. H1. And then we got this one. Let's tighten these up. H1. This one we'll leave as the H4 because we can't tighten it up anymore. And then let's see if we can tighten up this H4 over here. There we go. Market should be open. Yep, market is open. So once we're done with it, we cannot go to like our lower time frames until we've marked out all of our levels, okay? It's important that we mark out all these levels before we go down and start trying to take trades because we need to make sure we're waiting for proper setup. So there's NASDAQ and its levels. There's gold and its levels that we're kind of paying attention to. And then Bitcoin, we've marked out its levels. Now let's go down to 15. This is our last one, and then we'll be at our 5-minute sweet spot. So 15-minute, let's tighten up some of these fair value gaps. M15. And then we got this M15 fair value gap right here. And then this M15 too. So yeah, these are going to be definitely key levels we want to see price retrace to. We also have another impulse range for Bitcoin down on the 15-minute time frame. This impulse range. Okay, and it looks like we might be hitting into some key levels on Bitcoin too. That could be levels that could push price down again. I just want to mark out all the ones in premium and discount. And then we also have, like, I mean, look at this 15-minute, like that massive wick there. You know, that could mean prices, you know, heading up on Bitcoin to higher prices, but I'm going to be patient here. It's also December. So December's price action isn't going to be the best price action in the world. Okay? That's something you got to be careful of also. Right? Or like what you can expect from December is not the greatest. You know, it's going to be a little bit more consolidated, maybe a little bit more choppy or bearish because the year's closing out. You know, we can't expect the best price action possible. I remember last year when I traded that December's price action was really funky, like way different. And that's something I journaled, I took note of, and I'm remembering this year now too. So let's go down here to this level, these levels down here. Let's mark some of these 15-minute fair value gaps in discount, and then we can go down to 5. Oh, this guy. M15. And M15. And last one right there. Oh. Oh, no. All right. Okay. This is kind of what we're looking at here. Looking bearish. Gold is actually semi-looking bearish right now on the lower time frames, that it might attack some of this external range liquidity down here before it really starts moving up. Bitcoin on the 15-minute, look, Bitcoin starting to tap into some of these key levels. Bitcoin's, let me just see what Bitcoin does here. Okay, NASDAQ. All right. Oh, you know what we did for it to mark out? Okay, just looking. I'm going to go back to 1 hour, and I forgot to mark out session highs and lows. 7 midnight. Okay, this is our last thing that's very important that we need to mark out. Okay. And then midnight, 1600 or 1300 hours. 14. Okay. Now we're going to mark out of our session liquidity real fast. Dang, if you would have just shorted Bitcoin at Asia Open, you would have been chilling. And all the lows got taken, okay? Okay, so let's go Asia high. The same for NASDAQ. Asia low has not been taken. Or this is London low. Either way, it's one of the lows. Doesn't really matter. Just going to mark it out. And then London high. Okay. And then let's mark them out over here on gold. Asia low. London low. And then London high did get swept. So none of the highs are open. All right, now let's go back down to the 5. All right, let's see what's going down here. Okay. Okay, now I can focus in on everything. Sorry, guys. If there's what are you trading? We're trading NASDAQ, gold, and Bitcoin. NASDAQ, gold, and Bitcoin. What do you think about the recent gold? I think it's right now looking a little bearish, but I think ultimately it's in a bullish trend on the higher time frame. But right now we might see some retracement, right? Because gold has seen quite of a pump, so we might see some retracement now, which it looks like what we're doing. I'm just gonna kind of watch these levels again. NASDAQ, I would want to see it before I take a short. I want to see it like hit one of these key levels. And I'm really not liking this. Like, let's see. Let me see Bitcoin. No, it's not too bad. Okay. There we go. Okay. Bitcoin did give us a pretty large wick here, but again, I'm like, I'm not quite sure because we have this discount up here. The way that price is wicked really hard from this low here. That could be the signal, but I kind of want to be patient today. There's red folder news coming out in 20 minutes too. So that's something also that everyone should be taking note of. That red folder news comes out in 20 minutes. Okay, we have PMI coming out in 20 minutes. NASDAQ. NASDAQ wicked above this high here and this low here. So this, we'll see. If we're trying to short right now in NASDAQ, we're not in premium, which is against one of my rules. Like you gotta short in premium, buy in discount. I do still trade on Top Step. I think it's nicer using my trading view where they're all just kind of synced in right here, and Top Step's on the left side of my screen over here. So the reason why I just think it's easier to have trading view where I can see all 3 assets at the same time, and then I go to trading at Top Step and just execute over there on whichever asset is setting up. So I'll still be trading on those. I hope you guys all had a great Thanksgiving. Man. Gold is diving right now. Gold is just ripping down. Let me mark out some of these M5 lows too. We have this M5 low. We have, let's go to Bitcoin. We have this M5 low. And then we have this M5 high. And now this guy. Yeah, NASDAQ might have given us, this might have been the sweep here that we wanted for NASDAQ. But it is Monday. I'm trying to be a little bit more patient here today. I'm also very tired from my travels. Oh yeah. Here, I'll show you right now. Let me drag my top step over here real fast. So if anybody isn't aware, on Top Step, you can set an auto liquidate on your account. And I'm about to show you guys how to set that up. Okay, you go to settings. You go to risk setting. And you do profit daily target right here. And you type in the number you want. And then you make sure you do the action is to liquidate. Right? So I don't have any because I'm funded on here. But yeah, you just go to your settings. The settings cog to risk setting. And then go personal daily profit target. And then make sure you set the action to liquidate. So if you're doing evals, that's how you make sure it auto liquidates for you. Gold. So this is more an H1 high. This one up here. Okay. And then we do 5 high right here. Okay, NASDAQ just wicked off this M5 low. I'm honestly not really interested in taking a trade right now with NASDAQ. Look at this price action. It's pretty choppy. I'd kind of rather be a little bit more patient. Yeah, see, look at NASDAQ hit down to this low. Now it's literally ripping back up. This short would have worked, though. I mean, you would have at least hit 1, 2 targets. And then you would have just gotten stopped out at break even. Yeah, I think I'm waiting too till news comes out. Gold's the only one that has like a clear direction it's breaking out of, right? Like clearly gold is going bearish right now. Where NASDAQ and Bitcoin kind of look pretty choppy right now. Bitcoin ran up, came down, and it's doing the same thing that NASDAQ's doing. It's just kind of... How's this choppy? I mean, look at this 5 minute right here. How's this not choppy? Gold is not choppy. But Bitcoin right now is kind of choppy. And NASDAQ is choppy. The reason why I say it's choppy is one, price came up, failed to break above this price or this high, came down. Price came down below this low and wicked all the way back up. And now look what price is doing. It's coming all the way back up. This is considered chop. Like, no doubt about this is on NASDAQ is anything but chop. Now, if you're looking at my screen, all you see is gold. Gold is not choppy. Gold is bearish right now. What's bias? Bias on gold on NASDAQ is bearish and Bitcoin is bearish. The ultimate bias on gold is bullish. So I'll show you right here on my pre-market analysis. Most of them are, except for this one's bearish, but all these are looking bearish. Yeah, gold and NASDAQ and Bitcoin, or Bitcoin and NASDAQ are bearish, where gold leans more bullish, except for the lower time frame is bearish. NQ, so right, like look, I don't know how someone could say NQ is bullish, but look at this impulse range. NQ is definitely bearish. We're in a day fair value gap, pushing out of that. Like that's not bullish. I mean, you do have this little impulse range here on NASDAQ, but ultimately the higher time frame on NASDAQ is bearish. So if someone's saying it's bullish, I would say they're misreading, because we haven't broken any structure here on NASDAQ that would indicate we are bullish. Where gold has done the opposite. Gold has pushed up, broken some highs, pushed down, respected bullish footprints, and then pushed up higher. Gold's bullish. NASDAQ is definitely not yet. Same for Bitcoin. Bitcoin's definitely not bullish. Now, I think what would be helpful for NASDAQ, figuring out if it's bullish or bearish, we're currently in a day fair value gap on NASDAQ. If we decide to respect that and push out of it, that'd be the first footprint NASDAQ has respected as a bullish footprint. I will be trading Asia today, yeah. Nice, yeah. This short, we could have taken this short, but I'm kind of waiting for news to come out. I kind of want to wait till news to come out. If you're on TikTok, I highly recommend you turn your screen sideways so you see all my screens, because I'm looking at 3 different assets right now at one time if you just turn your phone sideways. But if you keep it portrait mode, you're only going to see me looking at gold. Let me see something. Oh, there wasn't even a fair value up here on NASDAQ. I mean, there was way down here, but my guess is you're risking quite a bit on that. Huh? Actually, not too bad. And ideally, NASDAQ for us could get to this premium of this range here, and then that's where we potentially could look for shorts. That'd be the most ideal. Only gold, yeah. Only gold and Bitcoin I trade during Asia. All right, still nothing I'm seeing even on Bitcoin here. Actually, maybe Bitcoin's doing something here. I just don't like how price looks right now. What are you? I feel like I'm clarity. I'm happy. Excited to trade more. I am tired. I'm like exhausted though. Okay. All right. Yeah, I want to figure out if I could share this with you guys. I want to figure out if I could share with you guys my template for TradeZella. And again, I highly recommend you guys use this right now. They should still have their deal going on. Use code Maniac for TradeZella. You get a really good deal right now. I think it's like 50% off with their Black Friday for the monthly cost. I think I could be wrong. I'd go and look it, put in the code, but I know it's definitely 20% off at least that you're getting with my code. But TradeZella, dude, I love that trade journaling. It's so nice. But I want to see if I can share my template that I've created for with you guys, so you guys can take advantage of it. Ugh. Okay, what time is it? 7 minutes, and then Red Folder News comes out. And yeah, in 6 minutes. 6 minutes, Red Folder News will be released. And maybe we'll see how price reacts to this. Maybe the London high and 5 high up here, and maybe that gives us a short opportunity. Because we do have this lower time frame range here on NASDAQ, like a 5 minute range. That would put us in discount if we were to take a short up here. But ideally, we can make it up to a little bit higher in this premium. Maybe even to this 15-minute fair value gap. Gold is like coming all the way back up now. It just inverted a 5 minute fair value gap. Dang, if only gold would have just wicked that London low, we could have maybe taken something there. Yeah, I think Nasdaq's. You know, now that I think about it, I think actually I did miss this opportunity, because right, we're in discount of this range to target the premium. I should have paid more attention to this sweep of this M5 low here. Oh geez, but it didn't invert of 1 minute until all the way up here. How much would be risky on that? That's a pretty crazy move. Oh yeah, 92 points. Yeah, no. Yeah, no, I wouldn't have taken that. Yeah, I wouldn't have taken that either way. But okay. All right. I don't think that was a bad move. Might be I'll just wait till Red Folder News comes out. Bitcoin, I think, might be doing the same thing that Nasdaq's doing right now. Might go long here. Thank you for the follow. Tell me when you encounter a tough challenge and I will help you win. Oh. Okay. Nasdaq has hit all these highs, London high and 5 highs. We're going to delete this guy and this guy. It closed through it, but I want to see what kind of price does here at London high. We did hit into the premium of this range. But again, Red Fuller news comes out in like a minute. So it's smart to be a little patient here. You don't want to get caught in. I don't think this Red Fuller news is going to be anything crazy, but it can do something. I don't think it's going to be a crazy move, but we're just not even going to look. We're going to wait for this to be released, and then we'll go back over to the charts. All right, 20 seconds, and then the Red Fuller news is released. We'll see what it does. All right, it's pending. See if we refresh. Does it give it to us? It's bearish at 48.2. Okay, let's see what kind of happens here now on the charts. Red Fuller news is out. So now we're definitely down to take some trades when they present. Red Fuller news is out of the way. We'll see what kind of, if we get any kind of setup. Long it right now. Yeah, I'll pass on that. Longing right now would be kind of that'd be kind of insane. You kind of, I think you missed the opportunity for the long. You should wait for some confirmation. You have unfilled 5-minute fair value gaps. I'd wait for like a retracement or something. Take profit at all-time high. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's not happening today. Unless you're swing trading. If you're swing trading, then that works. But all-time highs are very far away. Okay, all-time highs are way up there. Yeah, Bitcoin's price action right now is, I'm not liking it. Where Nasdaq is finally kind of broken out, but again, I want to see how it reacts to these higher time frame points of interest, and see, do we respect them and start shooting back down? Because again, remember, at the end of the day, higher time frame on Nasdaq is bearish. All-time high by the end of the year, I think that's unlikely. You got to look at how December is, right? December is the closing month of a yearly candle. Okay, think of it like a Friday, right? December is not going to be the month you see it rip. December is going to be a pretty lame price action month. It's the closing month of the year. It's people closing out their positions, taking even losses, before tax season. Don't expect too much from December. It's not going to give you what you think you want. It's not the greatest price action month, okay? I mean, if you listen to a lot of people, like a lot of smarter people than even me, December is a month you preserve your capital and wait for A plus setups. Okay, you're gonna see me in as we live stream throughout December. You're gonna see me be probably a little bit more patient. I'm gonna skip out on trades like this. I'm gonna skip out on trades that aren't giving me, total 100% opportunities, right? Like I want to see A plus setups in December and take only setups I'm like, yes, that is really good. I know that's a good setup. Because December's just not that great when it comes to price action. You need to be aware of that, and you need to go into December ready to do that. If you're trading funded accounts, if you're trading evals, whatever it is, preserve capital in this month so you don't screw yourself for January, because January will be a much better year or better month to trade in. All right, Bitcoin broke through that low, and looks like Bitcoin's going to go pretty bearish here. It looks like that was the move on Bitcoin that I was kind of looking for. Not yet, Envy. I'm being pretty patient today. It is Monday. We had Renfield news that just came out at 7 a.m. my time. So like Red Fuller news came out 5 minutes ago. So I was kind of waiting to see how does price react to the Red Fuller news. I wasn't liking the opening price of Nasdaq. Is pretty choppy, and so now that Red Fuller news is out of the way, we kind of got this chop out of the way for Nasdaq. I'm trying to see what opportunities come from it. Same for gold. Gold didn't even give us anything over here either. Ugh. Okay, Bitcoin did fail to displace his 5-minute low. I actually might be open to taking this. All right, let's see if we get tapped in on Bitcoin here. I'm going to do a limit order. All right, if we get tapped in on Bitcoin, we'll see what it does here. Caught that. Nice. Nice. I like that, Envy. Good catch on that. The reason why I'm open to taking this long on Bitcoin is one, we're failing to displace this 5-minute low in discount of this range, right? Of this lower time frame range here. And on a higher time frame, right, for Bitcoin, we can come up and target this premium of this range up here with these unfilled M15 fair value gaps. So I'm not expecting anything crazy, but I think we could. No way, Bitcoin didn't tap us in. It literally missed it by like a pixel. We could potentially see something here with Bitcoin of a little bit move. I'm not going to be shooting for a premium. I'm not going to be shooting for that. I'm more going to be taking a lot of take profits at if we're going to make it to these M5 highs over here, but we'll see what it kind of can give us. Like maybe London highs, like where I'm max looking for. Okay, we're tapped in. We're going to see. Yeah, I got tapped in on that candle there. Okay. All right, we'll see how this goes. We're going to set up a take profit at, no, is that this high? Yep, that high right there. And then another take profit at that high right there. Okay. We'll set up the stop loss. Okay. All right. Sweet. Okay. Bitcoin's in and going. NASDAQ still hasn't set me up anything. Same for gold over here. So we're still going to sit on our hands over there on those guys. You want a live account for Bitcoin? Yes. I'm on my crypto exchange BLOFIN. I have a 5K account over there. $5,000 I put into that Bitcoin account. So we'll see how it plays out. I'm hoping it respects. It's currently sitting in this 1-minute inversion and a 1-minute fair value gap. I'm hoping it holds that respect. If it doesn't and it ends up breaking back to our stop loss, then I was completely wrong, and we'll sit on our hands for a little while. And maybe price gonna, keep continuing bearish. Good, but I'm ultimately looking at this 1 hour of this impulse range that hasn't seen any kind of retracement yet. Is the reason why I've gone long on Bitcoin, even though it's kind of against the higher time frame, the narrative. We're not going to be greedy on this Bitcoin trade. We're going to get what we can and get out of it if it does allow us to. But I think this was a pretty good setup here with this failure to displace this low. We're in the 15-minute fair value gap and in discount of this 15-minute range. This should be a good spot. And we also have the correlation with NASDAQ, and NASDAQ is continuing to push higher. So that could hopefully help us there. You can trade Bitcoin like you do NQ and ES. The difference is Bitcoin, you don't have like contracts. So like the nice thing with NASDAQ and ES, you can do like, hey, I trade 3 contracts and that's 3 contracts only I trade. Bitcoin, you're trading more dollar amounts. So like for me, I only risk right now about $50 a trade, and I shoot to make about $100 a trade. So that's the difference between Bitcoin and like NQ and ES, you're not trading with contracts, you're trading with just like dollar amounts that you can be a little bit more nitty gritty with your risk. Like you can be very accurate of I only risk $50 and I never risk more than that. Where in Q, you can't really do that. It's I trade 3 contracts and I hope my risk isn't like too much, right? Um, but yeah, I could take a really wide, like this morning setup on NQ, this one. This long here for me would have been a 92-point stop loss with 3 contracts, right? But Bitcoin, I can just say, hey, even though it's really wide, I still only want to risk $50. Like we don't risk more than $50. You can always risk $50 no matter the size of the the stop loss. Yeah. Looks like this 1 minute might be disrespecting this fair value gap here. For me, I'm gonna just gonna hold it. If we get stopped out, we get stopped out. If we don't, we don't. But I'm not gonna close it early. That's bitten me in the butt too many times, where it still decides to go, even though the 1 minute might look. But looks like we might get tapped out here on Bitcoin. Okay, we got tapped out on Bitcoin there. Okay. All right. We risked the proper amount. We were patient on that trade. I don't think it was a bad move. Um, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what Bitcoin decides to do. So we close below this low. All right. So now, yeah, we're going to be more patient here with Bitcoin. NQ. Oh, NQ. Okay, NQ doesn't have any NQ doesn't have any fair value apps in here. The only one I see is this guy. We might get something here with NQ to go short. I want to see what it does here in this fair value app. If NQ decides to invert this fair value gap, I'd be very open to taking the short. Why? We are in premium of this range, and we have came up here, wicked above this high, and now if we invert that, go ahead. I'm open to taking that. We'll see though. So let me go to my trade checklist for. I forgot to do this on Bitcoin, but let me go to my trade checklist on NASDAQ. We're going short in premium of a range. M5 IFHE before M1. Let's see. Do we have that? No. No, we don't have that. M1 displacement. Do we have displacement to the downside? We do. We have a little fair value gap over here. We have a fair value gap here. Yes, we do. Oh, that's supposed to say bearish. M1 N5 liquidity sweep. We do have that. And we just need the M1 inversion. Dang, Bitcoin looks like it's. What are you doing here, Bitcoin? We have this other 1 minute fair value gap. See how it's respecting that? That's good news for us. All right, we'll see what kind of presents itself here. Thank you, Lovish. We'll see if we get the setup we're looking for. How many points are we risking? Like 53? Okay. Watch this 5 minute. Ideally, we hit up inside this 15-minute fair value gap. That'd be ideal. Still got that 2 minute. We haven't inverse. Would you wait on that? Yeah, I'm waiting for the 1 minute. I don't look at 2 minute, but I look at the 1 minute. We didn't inverse anything on the 1 minute, so just sitting on our hands. And we are sitting in a 15-minute fair value gap also right now, where price is at. We might have inverted it on the 15 we did. So we're going to delete this guy. Also, I'm going to look at gold over here. See what gold does at this low. But again, I think gold could go down lower because gold is ultimately, bullish, but we could see a little retracement. I want to see gold to be in discount of that range before I take a long. But if it gives me a clear wick off this low, we do have this range here. Could see something there. All right, still nothing. We didn't invert this fair value gap. Why is my fiber not working? Yeah, looks like we might get. All right, we'll see in the next 55 seconds. Do we get an inversion here? And we'll be taking a stab at a short here on NASDAQ. If it inverts this 1 minute fair value gap. All right, 20 seconds. Is it going to invert it? Starting to play around. Okay, it still hasn't inverted it. Let me check the 5 minute real fast. The 5 minute is sweeping below these lows, but I still, again, leaning more bearish than bullish on NASDAQ. And we just tapped into that premium of that range. So I'm very much, yeah. We'll see what it does here, though. We're just going to be patient on it. Because really, we can only take it if it gives us our confirmation. Ugh. All right, 5 seconds. Let's see, 5 seconds. Will it give it to us? Nope, still hasn't given it to us. What's gold doing over here? Gold's tapping into that low down there. Is there any fair value apps here on gold? Oh, the nearest one on gold is this guy. Okay. Might just invert it right here on this candle. $40 seconds left on this candle though, so we're gonna be patient, see if it gives it to us. Yeah. All right, 23 seconds. All right, there we go. Okay, we're in on this trade. First TP is at this low. Let me mark it out. First TP is at this low. Second TP will be at this low. Okay, and then stop loss is up at this high. Okay. There we go. See if this short plays out here on NASDAQ. We're going to go back up to the 5-minute and just kind of watch it from there. We've inverted this 5-minute fair value. Oh, wait, no, we didn't. We didn't invert the 5-minute. But 1 minute has displacement to the downside. So we have fair value gaps over here, fair value gaps over here, fair value gaps over here. So the 1 minute is showing displacement to the downside, and on the 1 minute in this area respected this fair value gap and did not invert it. So hopefully we can see some fuel down to target external range liquidity lower. We are also in the 5-minute in premium of this 1 hour range. And if you go to the 1 hour, we should be in a 1 hour fair value gap. Yep. We're in a 1 hour fair value gap. We also have 15-minute fair value gaps up there. We did tap into this 15-minute fair value gap. So I think we have a lot of confluences playing on our side. If it doesn't work, I think this is a good risk to reward setup here. We also have gold over here. Did gold invert this guy? It did, but I think the 5-minute closed lower. No, it didn't. I actually might be open to taking a long on gold too. Let me see the 5-minute. We do have this 5-minute order block on NQ. I might be open to moving stops down to that order block. I kind of want to see if we invert this fair value at first. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to take off risk. It should not come back up to this if we're right. I'm going to take off risk. It should just keep pushing down here. It should not come all the way back up. So I'd rather take off risk than... Okay. Risk has been taken off there on NASDAQ. So we've taken off, I think, a little bit less than half our risk. So yeah, this gold trade, I'm just going to focus on one asset right now. I'm just going to focus in on NASDAQ. Gold will trade in Asia. But I mean, I am open to taking the long here on gold. But right now I'm already in a position. I kind of want to just be locked in on this one and not be split with my attention. I'm a little tired right now. I'm not like the sharpest. So trying to balance two positions is a little bit more challenging. Okay, we've inverted that 5-minute fair value gap. I love that. But not open to moving stops yet. Okay. There we go. We got alerts on all these levels. So if you hear those alerts go off, you know we hit one of those. Dang, Bitcoin really is ripping down now. Hey, NASDAQ, can you follow Bitcoin? Give us a little good move like that. Actually, it's probably good we didn't take this long on gold. Honestly, with gold, I think I want to wait for gold to get into discount. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna wait for gold to get into discount before I even consider taking it long. I'll just be patient that way with gold. We're getting close to TP here on NQ. I'm actually gonna move my TP up to that 5-minute unfilled fair value gap. I just noticed that that's there. That should be the target. Oh shoot! Why did they freaking TikTok, dude? I shut down my live because I didn't move a puzzle button. Like, you hear my voice is going. Why would you discontinue my live, dude? So annoying. Yeah, our first TP will be that unfilled M5 fair value gap because at least we'll take a TP at that fair value gap. And then if price decides to flip on us, our stops will be moved to break even. So we are at least to grab what we could. But honestly, I think price should go down further here. That's stupid. Why did TikTok do that? Yeah, it is in a 15-minute fair value gap too. So hopefully that doesn't play against us here. But honestly, the way I'm looking at price right now, it's disrespecting bearish fair value gaps, and that's why I'm willing to like just take what I can at this 5-minute and then go to break even, because we should at least test this unfilled 5, and if it's gonna reverse, that's where it will probably reverse. But it should tap that unfilled 5. And then we can move stops to break even. And then at worst case scenario, we were able to catch a little bit of move. And there's first TP. First TP's hit. Stops to break even. Okay. Let me move down to 1 minute. Stop loss is now at break even. And either right now we're about to see some fuel come into the market and it's going to start ripping down and go to our next TP. But right now it's a risk-free trade. Stops are at break even. So if it decides to reverse at this 5-minute fair value gap, we have locked it in and it's a winning trade. But I still think we go lower. I still think we target London low. Because we've created this reversal at London high in premium of this range. I think London low is very in reach for us. But for me, if we hit the second TP, we'll let that last contract just run, and hopefully we catch a nice runner this morning. But I'm very grateful that we were patient and that we got a proper setup here on this NASDAQ trade. Let's take some notes. I'm just gonna focus in on this one real fast. We're gonna take some screenshots and notes for our trade journaling. Okay. NQ live market. So we're gonna go to NQ. Looks like we might actually get stopped out here on NASDAQ, which is exactly why we move it to break even. It seems to be respecting that 5-minute fair value gap and pushing way back up. So we might just get stopped out here on it. We'll see though. We'll see. We could not, but nice. Nice. We could get stopped out here. We'll see. Let me turn on the voice so you guys can hear the voice. I don't know why that's not on. So then you guys can hear, if you hear order filled, that means I got tapped out. But we haven't been tapped out yet. Let's go back to here. There we go. Just taking some quick notes. Let's lower the. Okay. There we go. And then we're targeting M5 IRL, M5 ERL, and then also session high lows. There we go. And we got the M1 inversion. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Was your analysis correct? I'd say yes. Yes, we did. I felt clarity. I felt excited, happy. I am tired. I'm exhausted right now. Okay. We did get stopped out on that trade on NQ. But we were able to lock in $87.23 on one contract on that move. So not bad. Hey, a green day is a green day. So far that's all we've gotten on today. And then Bitcoin did take a small loss. Bitcoin's loss, I'll show you guys the P&L card. Download. Bitcoin took a $58 loss this morning. So we did take a little bit of a loss there on Bitcoin. But overall, even with the NASDAQ win, we're up $30 for the day, even with the Bitcoin loss. So not too bad. Looks like that gold trade is actually working out over here. Yeah, looks like that gold trade would have worked out. Looks like NASDAQ's ripping back up. We'll see what NASDAQ does up here at these highs. Yeah, looks like this gold trade, dude, gold is so consistent with this. Like literally it would have been like this. And gold's, what would be gold's first target? I'd say probably this unfilled and then the 5 minute. Yeah. I love gold. I really do. Gold's really nice to trade. Dub. Dub, dub, dub. Small dub, right? But hey, a dub's a dub. Small dubs, but we take them all day. Oh, I'm glad we were able to take a dub here on NASDAQ. Felt good. Felt good. I felt pretty confident in that analysis there. Kind of bummed that it didn't go a little bit further. But honestly, if I had to pick, I would love to see this fair value gap tapped. Like these 15-minute fair value gap footprints tapped. To get a real, I think that'd be a really good trade, but at least we're able to capture a little bit of a move. I think Bitcoin, I missed the move and I was waiting, right? I was waiting for red folder news to come out, but I think Bitcoin, this was the ultimate move up here. This sweep of these highs to left in these footprints. And I mean, we even said it before stream, right? We even talked about it. But this was the setup. But it was before that red folder news came out. And it's a bummer that we try to take a stab at, being in discount of this range to target those highs again. But, I think with Bitcoin, the lesson learned here, which I'm going to make I'm going to take a note of it right now. We're going to journal. on BTC. Should have watched for that large M5 sweep in those M. There we go. That's a lesson learned there on Bitcoin, and we won't make that mistake again, or try not to. Okay. But we're gonna have to be patient here on Bitcoin. It's running now. Dude, Bitcoin's about to be under 80K. That's kind of crazy. Well, gold, you wouldn't have gone very far here on gold. You would have gotten tapped out there, just like we did over here on NASDAQ. So I'm not too upset about that. Maybe we'll get one more sweep down here or something. Man, I'm so bummed that TikTok got shut down for me. They missed out on the winning trade that we took. All right, guys, I think I'm gonna close it down. I'm not feeling very good today. After all my travels, my wife is super sick, so I think I'm going to go try to take care of her. I'll be back during Asia's session. I might live stream it. I might just take it slow because I'm just not feeling good. But most likely I'm not gonna live stream it. My video editor, he's putting in a lot of work on this video and doing a lot of like special effects and stuff to make this 1 minute kill shot video really good for you guys. So he's running into some technical difficulties, and he's gonna get that video out to me very soon, but it should be this week. He should give it to me this week, and this week should have that 1 minute kill shot video. It should be by end of week. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. I'm excited to release that video because I think it's going to be a really good one. I think you guys will really like it. It's got a lot of good info in it, and I hope it benefits you guys a lot. So that video should be out very soon, like within the next 4 days. He has 3 days to deliver me the video, and so that would be Wednesday. And so hopefully I can post by Thursday or Friday. So that's the goal. That's the goal. He's working on it. He should be almost done. But we're really making sure that it's a really good video for you guys. So that video should be out soon. But guys, take advantage of some of the Black Friday deals with my codes. Apex gets you a good code right now, or a good deal on evals. So if you use Apex and go to Maniac and use code Maniac, get you a great Black Friday deal. TradeZella, if you're looking to do trade journaling like I am, use TradeZella, use code Maniac. That gets you another great deal that's going on right now. You got TRADECOPIA for trade copiers, code Maniac. TradeSyncer has a great deal. Yeah, take advantage of all my deals. If you're on YouTube or Twitch, use anywhere, use the links down below. And look at those and take advantage of all the deals that I have to offer for you guys, because some of those deals end soon, and I want you guys to take advantage of them. Especially the Apex one's pretty good right now. $69 for a 100K account. It's the cheapest in the industry for a 100K. Go take advantage of those. All right, let's mark off the rest of these guys because we did these for our. Yep, we did all those guys. Perfect. All right, finish my day. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. I'm tired. All right, guys. I'm gonna call it for today. I will see you guys tomorrow morning at market